Menus are a vital part of your website because they are the tools used by your visitors to access different sections on your site. WordPress lets you create custom menus pointing to pretty much anything you want, both in the sidebar and in the theme itself if it's supported. WordPress menus are controlled from a simple user interface right inside the admin panel and are easy to manage with simple drag and drop behaviors. On the front page of the 2011 theme, you have a menu at the very top here. This is the regular main menu that you'll see on most websites. By default, the main menu consists of two types of items. You have the home page, and then you have a list of all the other pages listed in alphabetical order, and in the case of subpages or child pages, they'll appear under the parent page. But what if you want to change that menu into something else? You want to configure it into a different layout, or you just want to reorganize it. To do that, you have to go to the dashboard and create a custom menu. So let's go to the dashboard, and then go to Appearance and Menus. This is where you can create and configure new menus. Off the top, when you don't have any menus configured yet, you have to create a new menu. So I'm going to create a new menu. I'll just call this one Main Menu, and I'll click Create Menu. This creates a menu I can now use. So inside this menu, I can add as many items as I want, and I have some different options here. Let me first collapse this theme locations for now, and then you can see I can either add custom links, I can add pages, or I can add categories. And that means I can pretty much link to any kind of section I want within the site, or even to sections outside the site. You always want to start your main menu with a home link, but you'll notice that you can't see the home link anywhere here. That's because it's hidden. You'll find it under View All under Pages. Here we have Home. So we'll start by just adding that one item. So I'll click on Home and then click Add to Menu. And you'll see that now Home appears in my main menu. From here, I can drop it down to get more information, and now I can see both the URL to that menu item, and I can see the navigation label and the title attribute. Now the title attribute is actually more important than people think, and you should always fill it in. The title attribute is what appears when you hover your mouse over a menu item, and it's also what is read by text-to-speech browsers and search engines. The reason why it matters is because a link like home appears on the internet probably about 500 gazillion times, and search engines won't understand the difference between one link called home and another link called home. But if you give it a title attribute that's more specific, it's easy to understand. For example, Samoka News home page. Much more descriptive, and it took me about 2 seconds to make. Now that I've changed it, I should really save this menu before I move on. So I'll click Save Menu, and I know that my changes have actually been saved. I now have a menu with one item in it, and I can assign that menu to the front page. So now I'm going to go to Theme Locations here and assign it. But before I do that, I'm going to open my website in a separate window so you can see what I'm talking about. So right now, we have the default menu. It has the Home button, the About Us button with the drop-down, and the Contact Us button. If I go back to my menus, and I go under Theme Locations and assign Main Menu as the primary menu and click Save, and then I go back and reload my front page, you'll see now we only have the Home button, because that's the only item on my menu. Now I can build my menu out, so I can go down here and add the About Us and Volunteer pages and the Contact Us pages. Again, I'll click Add to Menu, and the menu items are added automatically. Then I can go in and edit them, and from here I can either change the navigation label, because by default the navigation label will match the name of the page, but I may want to change it to just Contact, and then say the title attribute is Contact Samoka. And then I'm going to go and change About Us, and I'll say About Samoka. And I might actually change the navigation to just About. And I'll change Volunteer to Volunteer for Samoka. Now if I save this menu again, I'm saving all my changes, and since the menu is already assigned to be the primary menu, when I go back to my front page, I now have all those items. The problem is, right now they're in the wrong order, and also the volunteer doesn't appear under About. So I can change that very quickly. First I want to change the order, so I'm going to go grab About and simply pull it up to the position I want it to be in. So now we have Home, About, and Contact. Then I'm going to grab Volunteer and pull it up under About and then to the side so that it gets indented. So now you can actually visually see the hierarchy of this menu. And if I save this and reload it, I'm now back to the same menu I had before. The Home button, the About that drops down to Volunteer, and the Contact button. What's cool about the custom menu is now I can also add other types of links. For example, I can add links to my categories. So if I want to have a link to the category page, I simply click on News, Add to Menu, and then I get that link. So I can put that up here, and then I'll change the title attribute to Samoka News Index, because this will be the index page that shows all the news items. Again, I'll save the menu, reload the page, and when I click on News, we're now taken to the category page that shows all my news items but nothing else, which can be very useful. I can also create custom links that can point to specific posts within my system or to somewhere else. Let's say I want to create a link to lynda.com. I can then go into Custom Links, type in the URL, so lynda.com/Morten, because that's me, and then just say lynda.com as the label. I'll click Add to Menu. The item gets added to the menu, and then I can go in here and change both the URL, the label, and the title attribute. And when I save the menu and reload my page, I now have that link right on my main menu. Now you know how to create a menu and how to assign it to a specific theme location. But you can use menus inside WordPress to do other things as well. So let's create another menu. I'll create a new menu. I'll call this one Sidebar Menu. Click Create Menu. Now let's put some different items in here. Let's say I want to make a list of other news websites that I'm interested in. So I'll go in and I'll say CNN.com, CNN, add to menu, go to CNN, save menu. So now I have a sidebar menu, but of course, until I assign it, it won't appear anywhere. Right now, we still only have our main menu and the sidebar menu is nowhere to be found. So what I need to do now is go back into widgets. So I'll go under Appearance and Widgets. And then I can find the custom menu widget, grab it, drop it directly underneath my text widget, give it a title, and then I can pick what menu I want to display, in this case the sidebar menu, click Save, and when I reload the page, we now have that News Sites menu displaying right here. Now what you'll see here is my website is starting to suffer from what I like to call sidebar overload, where there's tons of stuff in the sidebar and it's really getting distracting. So I'm going to do some simple pruning of my sidebar here. I'm going to go and move my custom menu down to the footer. So I'll find footer area 1, and I'll grab my custom menu and scroll down and drop it here. Then I'm going to get rid of my Flickr photos. So I'm first going to collapse available widgets and grab Flickr photos and put them over here. And then I'm just going to get rid of this one, and this one, and this one, and this one. And now, when I reload my page, you'll notice that the sidebar is far less cluttered, and at the bottom of my page, I have my custom menu. As you can see, creating, deploying, and editing custom menus in WordPress is now very simple. And more importantly, you can change your menus on the fly. So if you need to link to a new page, a particular category, or even a page on a different site, or a post within your site, you can do so quickly and easily both in the sidebar and in the theme itself if the menu function is supported. Custom navigation has always been one of the top most WordPress requests, and now it's available right at your fingertips.